Hello everyone, my name is Roya and I'm going to tell you guys all about some books that I DNF'd recently. So for those of you who do not know, a DNF, it means did not finish. So you're reading a book and you just are not into it enough to complete reading the book, so you just kind of give up. So it doesn't mean that the book is terrible, it just, often means that it's not for you. So if any of these are some of your favorite books, and I know that some of these books are very beloved, there are actually 3 books on this list. 2 of them are upcoming releases that I got from NetGalley that I just could not finish, and the other one is also a book that I've never heard a gosh darn bad thing about, so I'm really sad that I didn't like this book enough to keep reading it. So if any of these are like your favorite book or a book you loved or anything like that, I'm not saying you're stupid or something for liking it. You do you. I'm glad you liked it. I want these books to do well, certainly, because they're actually, pretty awesome books. They just weren't my thing, and I'm just not gonna read them. So anyway, the first one that I DNF'd is East by Edith Patu. I actually got 300 pages into this book and it was just boring me to death. So unfortunately, I think a lot of it is just kind of the storytelling of it, because it's not bad. Nothing's bad about this book. It's just that we don't really get to know the characters enough, and it's not particularly plot driven either, and we have several different points of views. Like, it alternates very frequently between several different points of views, and I don't think that adds to the story at all. I think it should have just had one point of view, and that would have improved it a lot. And also, a lot of the stuff that happens in it just did not have a reason for happening at all. So it just took me out of the story. I just didn't really understand why any of the stuff in this was taking place. It just didn't make sense to me. So that's like 3/5 of a book that I got through, and I just did not want to read the rest. And unfortunately, this book was just not for me. The next book that I DNF'd is The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta, and I really wanted to like this book. I was really excited for it. This is actually the second time that one of my top 10 most anticipated book releases turned out to be a total flop for me. I got this from NetGalley. It comes out in September, I think. I don't know, it comes out sooner than that. I think it's like August or something. But anyway, I was really looking forward to this book. I was jumping up and down with joy when I got approved for it on NetGalley, and unfortunately, after 40% of this book, I just gave up. I just could not read the rest. So it bored me the entire way through. It's told in that kind of wispy narrative that it almost would have been better if it was told in verse, because it's almost like that, but without any of the verse. So it was really boring. None of it had a reason for taking place. It didn't make any sense. I was really stoked to read about 6 queer witches, because I love queer characters and I love witches, obviously, but just none of it made any sense. It was just told in such a blah way, and when it alternated points of views, I just didn't get it. It felt so the same to me that I barely even realized that it was a new person's point of view. So this book was unfortunately just not for me, but like I mentioned earlier, I do want this book to do well. I do want books with queer characters. I mean, all the characters in it are queer, which is incredible. I'm really glad that a book like this is out there, but I was just so bored. I just could not read any more of it. I just had to give up, and I was really bummed. I made it farther into The Weight of Stars, or whatever that other anticipated release that I had that I got approved on NetGalley for was called. I made it 60% of the way through that at least. This one, I barely made it 40% in. I just couldn't do it. And lastly, The Perfect Assassin. This is another new release that I got approved on NetGalley for. I was really excited to read it, and unfortunately, I only made it less than 10% in before deciding that this book was just not for me. So it's told in such a boring way that it basically doesn't introduce you to any characters or concepts or anything that is going on. It just kind of shoves it. It's not necessarily even info dumpy. It just has this very dry and totally not connected to the story writing style, where we just don't get to know the characters at all. And what really annoyed me the entire time and just really took me out of the story was the fact that the word God kept being censored. And there is nothing that takes you out of a book faster than a book that's literally censored on the page. It wasn't just once or twice, it was like on every other page, and it drove me up the wall. I don't understand why it was like that. It made no sense to me, and I just could not keep reading this book. Just, yeah, for those reasons. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoy these books more than I did if they are on your TBR, because none of them are offensive or terrible or anything in any way. They just were not my type of thing like I was expecting them to be. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!